Well, fellow CFMOTO Ibex 450 or 450 MT riders, winter's over, and I just noticed something strange after the motorcycle sitting over winter. Like most of you, I've installed all kinds of stuff, including navigation, the heated grips, extra phone charger, and a few other things. And I just noticed that over winter, my navigation screen stopped coming on. So I decided to further investigate that and see what happened. Like most, I installed the manufacturer's heated grips and connected them to the electrical power underneath the panel, the left side panel, and then the rest I ran underneath the seat to the battery. And this occasion, I guess, well, the motorcycle was sitting over winter. The wire ended up breaking free. I'm not really sure how, but it was a fairly low gauge connection and fairly weak. And as you can see, everything was just kind of crammed down there, so it was bound to happen sooner or later. What I ended up deciding to get to fix this problem was a power distribution panel from Amazon that was fused and had a control relay that would only turn on the devices connected to it when the ignition switch was on. So today I'm going to try and hook that up, and we're going to find a best practices way of hooking this up so that I don't have any problems in the near future. Fortunately, CFMOTO has auxiliary power down here, and I'm going to figure out which of the two wires is the one that powers up with the turning on of the ignition switch, and then that way I can make sure that this spare wire on this device that requires the power for the relay is going to be able to turn everything on and off with the key switch. First things first, it would be important to disconnect all the devices that are plugged into the battery. In this particular case, I'm going to use a knife and cut back the insulation for the relay wire so that I can reach a different location with that wire. So that's going to require some of you who are installing this to cut the outside insulation and extend that wire to where you need to go to. Well, the surprise snowstorm ended up passing, so we're going to continue installing this. Wire routing is always important, so as you're kind of rearranging things, it's important to kind of figure out how you're going to end up running it and where you're going to end up fastening this power distribution box. So now I'm left with a big gaggle of wires. For the navigation display, I've got a wire that has to go to a relay source so that it'll understand when the key is turned on, and then I've got a regular power wire here as well, so I'm going to be getting that one ready. In this case, I'm going to want to cut off the original connectors and either solder on some tin on the exposed wire or I'm going to want to crimp on a stake on so that way the little strands don't loosen up over time and get disconnected. In this case, I decided to crimp on some furls. That is another good option. There's many different options, but you do want to deal with the stranded wires in such a way that they don't come undone later on. Once the furls are crimped on, then you put the correct wire under the correct terminals. As with anything like that, you want to give it a tug to make sure it's in there solid. Next, I'm going to crimp on some ferrules to my SAE connector for my tank bag. In my tank bag, I've got an adapter that allows me to plug in USB cords to charge my phone, if I want to keep in the tank bag, or other devices. So I was torn between leaving it on the battery where it's on all the time, or putting it on this relay box, power distribution box. But I feel that it's easier to do that later on. I may add another SAE cable and adapter so that I can potentially plug in a tire pump or to use it to charge up the battery with a battery tender. But for now, I'm going to attach that as well to the power distribution box for the devices in my tank bag. So to figure out which of these bullet connectors is the correct one that will power up when the ignition key is turned on, I'm going to get out a meter and we're going to try and test this out. So first of all, I'm going to turn on the ignition switch, wait for it to power up. I heard the relay clicking, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my test lead on there, and I am seeing pretty much 12 volts. So what I'm going to do to test that theory, I'm going to turn it back off again, and we're going to test that again. And I get nothing. So we know now that the red wire going to the bullet connector is the hot coming from the battery, and it powers up with the ignition switch. As some of you may notice, it's a different day and things look a little different. The power distribution box with the relay on startup ended up not fitting exactly the way I wanted. I found a location here over the rear wheel kind of well area. Underneath this aluminum here was a kind of a printed section that was kind of rough anyway. So what I did is I used a coarse sandpaper, sanded it a little bit to make it rougher, used rubbing alcohol, and then epoxied this in place. The black strips here are rubber, so that when I zip tie the power distribution box down, it's not plastic on metal, it has a bit of isolation. So now I will proceed to zip tie it in. As you can see, the wires might be a little bit rearranged because I was playing a bit with what wires fit where because of length, but this will be its final resting location. I do like that this location is fairly high up, so rain won't really be able to get at it, and if water goes this high up on a tip over, then it's in the air box as well. So it's going to be probably very unlikely that this should be a problem unless it's an extreme circumstance. And there you have it, folks. I was successful in getting power to my navigation display that had somehow loosened itself up, and the connector had broken somehow, and now I'm able to start riding this year again. Thank you for following.